Thanks very much for checking out this episode of Turning to Him. If you enjoy what you hear, feel free to subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave comments, share it with your friends, all the basic stuff. When you do things like that, it makes it easier for other people to find the channel and add goodness into their lives. Thanks again. Oh my gosh.
So a lot of pain and a lot of negative experiences, but then also, some of the highest moments of my life, seeing this man who my mom will see this and, she's going to be like, oh, I never knew that. But, this man that I detested and seeing him become something through Christ that I never knew before. And that kind of got me thinking, what could Christ do with me?
I am without words. I was not expecting that twist in the story at all.
Yeah. So, I started having these experiences where I'm like, okay, I'm understanding and curious about the atonement of Jesus Christ. And then all of a sudden, this man who was this awful man and had created so many problems in my life, now he's changing and becoming something different. How is Christ doing both of these things?
Yes.
And it was eye-opening, and ultimately led to me choosing to serve a mission. And just to kind of continue on the story, I get out on the mission, and my mission president, he tells me the story, and he says, he actually calls me. He's like, hey, Elder Watson, I need you to come to a zone conference that's outside of your zone. It's going to be in this zone. You're going to meet up with your zone leader, and the two of you are going to come and, be there. I say, okay. And, we're sitting there, and he starts telling the story. And it was about this couple, and they were dating, and, they had made some choices and ended up breaking the law of chastity. And then, a year or so later, they decided, hey, let's get married in the temple. And they proposed and engaged. And, they were going through their interviews to be able to receive their recommend to do that living ordinance. And the leader, the ecclesiastical leader, said, has there been anything that you haven't resolved with proper priesthood authority? And, the lady said, yes, a while back, I did this thing. And the priesthood leader then said, we need to forego your sealing in the temple so that you can take care of this in the appropriate manner and truly repent and change and invite Christ into your life to experience this change. And I remember very clearly my mission president said, I'm not sure why I had to tell that story. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, I know why you had to tell that story. And, we said the closing prayer to our meeting, and I walked up to the mission president. I said, I need to talk to you. I went and we had a meeting, and I said, look, President, I skipped that step as I was trying to, to get ready for a mission. And I haven't taken care of those things that I should have taken care of prior to coming out. And he said, okay, well, you're well aware. I need you to go home. You're gonna pack your bags. I'm gonna call your I'm gonna call your stake president. I'm gonna let him know what's happening and that you're gonna be coming home, and that that this is part of the process. And that was honestly just a fear of mine, sitting there and experiencing and saying, oh, I did this thing, and I was the only active member of my siblings when I left for my mission, and sitting there and thinking, I've failed. I'm coming home, and everybody's gonna see me and think, what are you doing here? And my brothers are gonna see me and be like, I'm not going on a mission. And, just all of these, emotions and these scenarios are running through my head. So the next day I go and I show up to the mission president's, the offices, and we're sitting there, and he's kind of talking with me. And then he says, I've spoken with the general authorities in the area. And we've all felt that the Lord has forgiven you and that he needs you to stay on your mission. And again, I'm sitting there and I'm like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
How has Christ made me capable of bearing so much physical pain through my surgeries? How is he able to change my stepfather? And how is he able to forgive me? And those three kind of experiences, they help me to be able to understand at a more complete level how wonderful the atonement of Jesus Christ is, how merciful he is, and how much he loves us. And he just wants us to be home. And that being in this life, immortality, experiencing hardship is just part of the journey. But he's made it possible for us to be able to find relief through the physical, the emotional, the spiritual pains that we're experiencing.